The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Anything But Freakin Rasslin. It is Saturday, March 18, 2016. Jeff, what is this? Is this live on tape, this show?
Yes,
this show. Everybody, this is a live episode on tape. Jeff, how you doing today?
Doing good.
Good. Jeff, let me read the spot for the new kayfabecommentaries.com DVD, which is out and available. Sean Oliver sent me this copy, and I'm going to read this copy to you. The new edition of Back to the Territories with Jim Cornette is back, and this time get ready to head to the AWA with Corny and Greg Gagne. As the golden age of wrestling TV came to a close, many stars of the black and white found comfortable spots running territories around the U.S., and one of the biggest up-and-comers of the 50s and early 60s settled into a decades-long role at the helm of the AWA. Vern Gagne became the face and the soul of the powerhouse territory from Minnesota, and the closest person to him, his son, Greg Gagne, joins Jim Cornette for a walk through Vern's life and the history of the AWA. Greg's inside information will blow your mind, from the hilarious Mad Dog Vachon opening a plane door at 10,000 feet to the intriguing, the alleged skullduggery at the hands of Eric Bischoff. Greg goes with Corny as the earliest days of the company are explored, then the heartbreak and blown opportunities at the hands of Hulk Hogan and up through the run at McMahon in the 80s. You may think you have heard the whole story of the AWA, but there's more than that. Greg Gagne has stayed silent up until now. So there you have it. Back to the territories. Jim Cornette, Greg Gagne, AWA story. I'm going to listen to this myself, to be honest with you. I was a big fan of the AWA, American Wrestling Alliance. A lot of great stars came through the AWA. I was a fan of Vern and Greg Gagne. I mean, I liked both those guys. Vern Gagne, an absolute legend. Greg Gagne had to fill the boots of his father, and I think he did a great job. But this will be interesting. If you're a wrestling historian, or even if you want to just learn about wrestling back in the day, this is something to really see. Back to the Territories, AWA, Greg Gagne, available now at kayfabecommentaries.com. How you doing, Jeff?
Doing good.
Jeff, I got a couple of things I want to talk to you about, and I want to remember them all. First of all, let me tell you about starting my day today, because I've already had two experiences, one that pissed me off, and one that I almost got in trouble for. And it's it's not even 10 o'clock in the morning here. Okay. Bro, you live in an area that has a lot of snow. So I think if anybody, Jeff, you will be able to understand this. Okay,
All
bro.
right.
Bro, we woke up this morning here in beautiful Broomfield, Colorado, and we've got a significant amount of snow outside. I'd say right now it's probably about 6 inches. Okay. And it's still snowing, right? So, bro, listen, you know me, not to put myself over, but I kind of am going to put myself over. Okay. 31 4. Bro, I've worked out 78 straight days. Okay. And I've walked the majority of those days. So when I woke up this morning, the first thing I'm thinking of is, I can't walk. That means I've got to go to the rec center over here. I got to walk to the rec center. And I got to do the treadmill or the elliptis or something like that, which I hate doing, bro. I just hate doing that. So in my mind, I'm up at 5 o'clock and I'm like, crap. Now I got to walk down there. I got to walk back sweaty. That's how you catch a cold, the whole 9 yards, right? So, bro, my wife's up. She's ready to leave for work. She leaves at 7, bro. I try to leave at the same time to get my workout over with so I can get with you and we could do this show in the whole 9 yards. So I'm looking outside and I'm like, crap, man, I got to walk to the rec center in this crap. And Jeff, I get sick real freaking easy. So it's not that I mind so much the walk. It's that I know I'm going to walk back sweaty. And that's when like I'm acceptable to freaking cold. So I said, crap, I got to walk, blah, 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 blah. So, bro, my wife turns around and she goes to me, she goes, don't go to the rec center. She goes, your workout is going to be shoveling today anyway. Now, bro, let me tell you what that means to a woman being married to for going on 33 freaking years. Bro, there's something about my freaking wife that every time it snows, I immediately have to shovel. Immediately, like, bro, I have to stop whatever I'm doing, and I have to immediately. Now, bro, let me tell you, she doesn't help me shovel. Nobody helps me shovel. But the minute it snows, like the first thing my wife thinks about is, oh, Vin's got a shovel. Okay, that's number one, which pisses me off, bro, because she doesn't help me. Bro, here's the second thing, Jeff, that pisses me off. And please tell me if this is not ridiculous or not. Okay?
All right.
I told you, Jeff, we have about 6 inches of snow right now. It's still snowing. She wants me to shovel while it's still snowing. And I'm like, what? Why am I going to do that when I'm going to have to shovel twice? I will shovel when it stops snowing. I'm not going to shovel now, and then it's still snowing, and I'm going to have to go out when it stops snowing and shovel again. Now, bro, I know you get a lot of snow where you live. Do you shovel before it stops snowing?
Yeah, the sidewalk. Like the sidewalk to my front door, I do.
Okay, but not the driveway and everything.
Well, there's a guy that plows, so I don't have to shovel the driveway. But what I like, maybe I could understand if she's saying I got to walk here, I got to get in my car here, I got to pull out. Those areas, okay. That I would understand.
Jeff, here's what she's saying. At 7 o'clock in the morning, her car's in the garage, so her car's not touched. So she's going to get in her car, and she's going to what she's basically saying to me is, by the time I come home at 3 o'clock, this driveway better be shoveled. Because, bro, if it's not, I got to freaking hear her. So, like, that's what she's telling me. But, bro, I'm not going to shovel twice. That's asinine, bro.
So she's not walking in the driveway at all?
No, not at all. And, bro, when she comes home, she'll pull right in the garage. But
what about the mailman?
The mailman, we have the boxes around on the street.
Okay.
So it's just the fact that, bro, can I tell you what it comes down to?
Yeah.
My wife hasn't understood that I work from home. She doesn't understand that, bro. She doesn't understand the hours and hours and hours and hours of podcasting we do. To this day, because I'm home, I'm not working. So in other words, bro, regardless of whatever is on my plate today, in her mind, if she comes home and the driveway is not shoveled, it's what did you do all day? You're home all day. You couldn't even shovel? That's what it is, bro, you know?
That's funny.
So, bro,
but yeah, I can't really. If nobody has to go in these areas, then I cannot see a reason why you would need to do that multiple times now.
It's ridiculous, bro. So, bro, let me tell you what happens to me then, bro. I walk down to the rec center, and it's still snowing. I mean, and I
now why didn't you drive? Is your car still in your windshield fixed?
Bro, because, my wife gets the garage. My car's in the driveway. So I'm not clearing.
So you'd have to shovel to get yourself out.
Well, not really shovel. I could pull back over everything, but I'm not clearing the car off with the brush and all that. I'm not doing that. So I walk down there, right? Bro, let me tell you, bro, you know how everybody thinks like I'm the guy on TV, I'm the creep, I'm the this, I'm the that. Bro, nobody has a clue to who I am, because let me tell you a little story about what happens when I get to the rec center. Okay, bro? There's a guy working behind the desk. His name is Derek. Okay, bro, Derek's a huge wrestling fan. Bro, Derek Derek's about 36, but bro, here's an interesting story. When Derek was like a 14-year-old kid, right? He was a normal kid and everything. 14 years old, he was into skateboarding. He was skateboarding, bro, and hit his head and suffered a stroke at the age of 14. So now he's kind of like handicapped. that like his arm's kind of messed up. He's got to really think before he talks. But bro, the guy reminds me so much of Scott Casey Gale because he's as sharp as a tack. Like it didn't do any permanent mental damage or anything like that. But, it paralyzed like a portion of his body, that kind of thing, bro. But can I tell you something?
Is he the one that helps you find the clues that
he helped me find the elf?
Yeah.
But Jeff, when I walk in this place, he's a wrestling fan. So and I've been walking lately, so I haven't gone to the rec center, bro. When I walk into this place, Derek's face lights up like it's Christmas morning. Okay, I mean, it's like who's walking in this place? Okay, bro. And of course, I make a big fuss when I see Derek. Like I always tell him, I tease him about what kind of girls you're gonna pick up this week, and and he goes crazy for that stuff, bro. He goes nuts. So he's telling me today I guess there's a new you probably know this. I guess there's a new MMA game out. He's a big freaking gamer.
I think there's a new UFC game out.
UFC.
Yeah.
So he's telling me about this new UFC game and this and that and the other thing and everything like this. Okay, bro, here's the thing. At this rec center, a lot of women come in and, while they're working out, they leave their kids like in a little, bro, what do you call it? I guess a nursery you would call it, 4 or 5 year, 3, 4, 5 year old kids in a little nursery while they go work out. Well, guess who's head of the nursery? Derek. Derek's head of the nursery, bro.
So he's got to work the front desk and the nursery?
Well, he works the front desk. Then when the kids come in, he goes to the nursery and somebody takes over the front desk. Okay. So, bro, like the nursery is, the round tables with the little midget seats and the whole 9 yards and everything like that. So, bro, the a-hole that Vince Russo is, every time I'm done with my workout and stuff, I got to go visit Derek in the nursery with the kids. All right. So, bro, I'm done with the workout. I go in the nursery. I visit Derek with the kids. He's got 2 kids today. He's got Eli and Cruz. Those are the 2 kids today. They're both about 3 years old, right? So I go in there and I start rapping with this 3-year-old kid, Eli. And bro, he has 2 bags of snacks. Okay. So bro, this is my life. I just want everybody to know this out there. Vince Russo, who claims responsibility for The Rock and Stone Cold. And, according to Hulk Hogan, I walked into the WCW room and let everybody know I created the Attitude Era. I'm talking to a 3-year-old kid, bro, at 9 o'clock in the morning. So Eli showing me his 2 bags of snacks, and I said, okay, Eli, what are they? So one of them he clearly says is like the Check Mix. He said the Check Mix, The other one, bro, he lifts up and like they look like mini Cheetos, but they're not the orange Cheeto thing. They're like red. So I'm like, Eli, what's in the other bag? And he's like, he keeps saying, poopy shoopy, poopy shoopy, poopy. I don't have a clue what the kid's talking about, right? So me and Derek are now trying to figure out what the kid's talking about. And I'm telling Derek, I said, Derek, it probably is something called poopy snoopy. And like, we don't have a freaking clue, right? So, bro, the 3-year-old kid goes in the bag and he gives me a couple of these snack gimmicks, right? So I don't know what it is. I don't want to insult the kids. So I eat the Snoopy Doopies, right, bro? Bro, the kid's mother walks in. She doesn't know. Bro, you got to understand something now. This is a man, a 55-year-old man, sitting in one of these little tiny toddler seats. And, bro, I'm eating the kids' snacks, right? So, bro, the lady comes in. And she looks at me and she looks at Derek and she's afraid. Like, she's afraid. Like, who is this guy, right? Bro, she looks at me and she goes, are you eating my son's snacks? Bro, you got to understand. This is like a community here. The last thing I need is my picture plastered up in the community center that a child molester is like in the area. So all I could think about was I was like, yeah, he gave them to me. Right, bro? Bro, the woman rips the snacks out of my hand and basically says, I would appreciate if you wouldn't eat my son's snacks. Then she marches to the front desk, bro, and she reports me to the woman sitting at the front desk, bro. Bro, this is my life. This is what people that have built whatever Vince Russo is in their freaking minds. This is my life. But Jeff, I want to talk about a serious side of this because I got to tell, bro, I never shared this story with anybody. And again, you know, everybody knows me, and I'm an asshole, and I'm a scumbag, and I'm all these things, right? Jeff, I got to tell you something. So I literally now am scared to death because in my mind, the way people think today, who is that guy sitting in there with Derek and the two kids? Why is he eating my kid's snack? I mean, whatever this crazy woman is thinking. And like, I'm freaked out now, bro, because I already know like what she's thinking. Meanwhile, I went in there to talk to Derek. I'm having a conversation with Eli. The kid gives me a freaking shoopy doopy. I don't know what it is. That's all it was, right, bro? Bro, I have to tell you something, Jeff. When I grew up, we lived in a court, okay? Melvin Court is where I lived, right, bro? Bro, directly across the street from me, two guys lived together. And at that time, bro, they were probably mid-40s, early 50s, right? Mr. Blanchard and Mr. Gardner. Okay, bro? Bro, Mr. Blanchard and Mr. Gardner befriended me. Like, bro, Mr. Blanchard and Mr. Gardner, when I was about 12 years old, bro, they would take me to the movies. Bro, I remember every night, this was the biggest deal. I was about a 12-year-old kid, right, bro? Every night they would sit on their porch and have cocktails. And I would run over to them on their porch, bro, because they would make me like a black Russian. Meanwhile, they would put like no alcohol in it, but I thought I was drinking something I wasn't supposed to be drinking, right? They brought me to the movies. I remember, bro, they brought me to see, you know, Young Frankenstein. They brought me to see Cabaret. And if you look at the date of those movies, it's about 73. So like I'm about 12 years old. But, bro, they befriended me. And I spent a lot of time with Mr. Blanchard and Mr. Gardner, right? Bro, at 12, this is a shoot, Jeff. At 12 years old, I didn't know what gay was. I had no idea that these two guys were gay. Like, no idea in the world. To me, they were just two neighbors. They were two friends that just lived together. I had no idea. Bro, I didn't know what gay was at 12. But, bro, here's the deal. In the meantime, like, my mother and father, like, embraced these guys being so nice to me, taking me out to the movies. I mean, they embraced that. Like, when it was cocktail hour, I would run over there first. Then my mother and father would come over. And we would all sit on the porch with Mr. Blanchard and Mr. Gardner. Bro, I'll even tell you something, Jeff. When I was ready to go away to college, 6 years after that, like at 18, I was ready to go to Indiana, right, bro? Mr. Gardner was dying, right, bro? And I remember, like, I went to see him, and like he was all yellow. I mean, like, it was horrible for me, bro. It was horrible, bro. Nobody talked about AIDS back then. AIDS wasn't a thing back then. I thought the guy was just dying. Bro, he was dying of AIDS. At 18 years old, I was clueless. I had no clue. But my point is, these guys never, ever did anything inappropriate, never said anything inappropriate, bro. Never, 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 never. And like I said, my parents were totally cool with them. My parents were friends with them, this, that, and the other thing, right? So, like, I'm thinking about that today, and I'm thinking of, like, how does our society, like, go from that period to I've got to worry now that this woman is going to think I'm a child molester because I wanted to say goodbye to my buddy Derek. And God forbid, bro, I'm talking to a 3-year-old kid. I'm just talking to a like, how did we get from that place to, like, now it's like, I swear to God, bro, immediately, like, oh my God, what is this woman going to think? She's going to think, what was I doing in there? Why am I like, how the freak did we get from point A to point B, bro?
You should have started crying when she ripped the snacks out of your hand. But you're right, and that's the way society is today. If any adult talks to a kid they don't know just to be friendly, it's automatically they're creepy. What are you doing to my kid? And that, I don't know if the internet has a lot to do with that, the way people overreact online. But we have like a local reporter. Her name's Rachel Barnhart. She's a real good reporter, but she's always complaining about this. Anytime people report like an old man walking, talking to a kid, like she's like, you can't, this is ridiculous. Like she always gets upset about people blasting friendliness and strangers and overreacting to all this stuff. And people like hate tweet her about it and stuff. But I usually agree with what she says when it comes to those things. But it's very strange. I'm always nervous. I won't, if a kid says something to me, I'm always like, oh crap. I hope his mom or dad or whoever's with him saw that he talked to me first. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to respond, but then I don't want the kid to be upset. And I don't know. It's very strange.
I swear to you, bro, this goes through my mind every day, and it's like sick. Bro, I leave my house to walk at about 7 o'clock, and I usually walk for like 90 minutes. Bro, I can't tell you how many bus stops I'm passing. And, bro, I bring my stick with me now. Amy got me the stick, so I don't have to worry about coyotes or anything like that. So every day at the same time, I'm walking the same route. Bro, I'm passing dozens and dozens of kids. And, bro, I swear to God, what goes through my mind is, oh, my God, God forbid something happened to one of these kids. And, did you see anybody? Oh, yeah, there's this guy that walks by with a walking stick every day at 7:30 in the morning. Bro, like, I'm freaking thinking about that. Like, and I'm afraid it's scaring me. Like,
that's true.
I mean, but like, bro, that's sick. That's freaking sick, bro.
I remember when I was a kid and when my parents were at work, I would stay either my grandpa's house, my grandparents' house, or my aunt and uncle's house, and they live right next door to each other. And we'd ride our bikes all up and down the street, and there was the meat market. It was called Tony's Meat Market that was down the street, like a little deli, old school deli, and they always sold candy and gum and baseball cards. So me and my brother would ride our bikes down to the meat market by ourselves, get baseball cards, come back. We talked to every single neighbor on the street all the way down. We knew all the people. They all talked. It wasn't, and everybody was friendly. I never got, accosted or someone tried to take me or you know what I mean? But that's automatically the reaction you get now if you see somebody talking to a kid and they don't know the kid.
God, bro, I freaking hate that. I absolutely, because bro, it puts me in fear. It really puts me in fear because I know I'm passing all these kids, and then I'm like, oh my God, God forbid one of these kids goes or something like that. Oh yeah, you see anybody? What's the word? Suspicious in the name? Oh well, there's an idiot walking with a stick. I'm like, oh, I just freaking hate that, bro. I hate that, man.
Yeah, because let's say she goes and tells somebody, oh, this guy was talking to whatever the kid's name was.
Exactly.
And the other person's first reaction isn't going to be, well, was he just being friendly? It's going to be, oh wow, why was he doing that? You know what I mean? And then it just boom, 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 boom. We need to get her on the show. That would be a good thing to see why she reacted that way. Is it out of fear? Is it out of fear because of what she's read online, what she's seen? Did something happen to her or somebody she knows? Why was that the first instinct that came to her mind? That would be interesting to know.
Yeah, that is. It's like, bro, it's freaking ridiculous some of the crap we do today.
Yep.
What do you got, bro? I got a couple more, but I'll let you go. Bro, can I say one thing before you go?
Yeah.
We did the show late last night, right?
Yeah.
Did you at all feel bad after the show?
About Andre?
Yeah.
No. We didn't insult him. We didn't insult him at all. Plus he was late. He was 48 minutes late or whatever it was. You were just busting his balls. But no, I thought me and him had a good debate.
And bro, why am I saying that? Why am I saying that? Because I know I was just effing with them. I know we were just having a good time, not good radio, good podcasting. But what do I know is going to happen?
Oh, yeah, you're bullying Andre.
I'm bullying Andre. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm concerned about it. I know what I'm doing.
You can't jokingly tease your friends anymore.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can't. You can't, bro.
That's
what were you gonna say? You said you had a debate.
Yeah. Like me and him, we disagreed on some things, but like I didn't say you're a moron, you're stupid. He didn't call me names or insults. You know what I mean? We just disagreed on things and we went back and forth about it. I don't think either of us insulted each other. And when you were making fun of him, it's all in good jest. He loves it. It's the brand where I'm getting feedback. It's one of their favorite parts of the show now is when you and Andre go back and forth and you give him crap. But
yeah, but I think I might have called him an imbecile.
Oh, but come on, you call everybody imbeciles.
All right.
Like you didn't call him anything out of hate or anger.
No,
there's a complete difference. Yes. So if you call him an imbecile,
bro, I can't believe, like, bro, why would it, like, how could somebody like even sit there and think, why did you bully this, bro?
You think Andre would come on the show?
Do you think I'd have him on the show?
Yeah.
Do you think I would have somebody on the show I do not like?
Right.
Like, can you imagine? Oh, yeah, bro, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to give somebody I don't like exposure, and I'm going to sit here and argue with the guy, and I really don't like him. Can you,
especially because he does not get paid to come on the show with us. He comes on, he volunteers his time to do this. So if he was really coming into a hostile environment,
right,
where he wasn't liked for no money, why would he come on the show?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, no. Go ahead. Feel free to ask Andre if anybody thinks we're wrong on this case. I love Andre to death. Vince loves him to death. So it's a good time when we bust on him, I think.
Jeff, you got the computer on?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking to you.
Did you get it? All right, Jeff. All right. Settle down. Did you go to TMZ for news today?
No, I didn't.
Bro,
no.
Go on TMZ right now.
All right. Yeah, I haven't been. I figure you normally get your source for this show.
But I have my own. I have my own topics today. I don't even have TMZ, but you gotta watch something on TMZ.
Okay, it's taking a minute to load up here, probably because I'm running this Google program. What am I looking for?
Are you on TMZ?
Yeah, it's going really slow, but it's up.
Can you scroll down yet?
Yeah.
Okay, find the weather woman.
I hate my computer. I really need a new one. I can't do multiple things at once. It goes really slow. Is it a main TMZ news article?
You'll see a picture. You'll know who it is immediately as soon as you see her. You see her yet?
No.
Keep going.
I just saw Kurt Cocaine suicide gun.
Yeah, keep going.
Oh. In other news, smoking hot weather girl has the best wardrobe malfunction.
Yes. First of all, are you seeing this girl?
Yeah, this is an ad though. This isn't TMZ. Is this real?
It's play the clip.
How do
I think it's the second.
Coed.com.
Yeah, play the clip, bro. It's like 40 seconds.
I don't see a video clip.
Yeah, there is. Bro.
Oh, there it is. Weather girl pops out.
Yeah. Oh my, bro.
41 seconds. They're not. They're not going to be able to hear this.
Yeah, I got to say this to everybody. While Jeff watches this, Jeff, look at the type of weather girl that news stations are hiring. And then, but bro, we don't need any sex appeal in wrestling. Like, take all the sex and the sex appeal and the sexy women out of wrestling. Look at that freaking weather freaking girl, bro.
Dude, she just did this.
Yeah. Wait till she starts jumping up and down, bro.
This is in Romania.
Oh, anybody, I recommend you have to go on TMZ and look at this freaking weather girl, bro.
Dude, does she not know they're out at that point?
She perfectly knows that they're out.
Look at the other guys like this.
She knows that. Oh my God, bro. Is that
this must be the show making fun of it.
Oh my God. And freaking Andre's telling us that Velvet Sky is tired, bro. Oh my God, bro.
That's interesting.
Bro, that's another thing too. Like, I'm glad you brought that up. When you were scrolling through it, did you see? They showed the shotgun. I
just saw it real quick while I was scrolling. I didn't.
Bro, can I tell you something? Like, if you're contemplating suicide, first of all, if anybody's out there contemplating suicide, please, there are a trillion helplines out there. Call freaking me. DM me. I will talk to you. I will talk you off the cliff. Nobody wants to take their own life. You weren't created by God to take your own life. That makes no sense. But the fact of the matter is, bro, Kurt Cobain took his own life. Bro, can you imagine, like, blowing your brains out with a shotgun? Like, bro, like, I can't. I obviously can't fathom, like, a regular gun, bro, a revolver, where it's one bullet in the head or in the, I can't even, like, you can't even fathom that. But, bro, a shotgun, like, right here, I saw that gun and I was like, oh, my God, like, what is going through somebody's mind? Now, you know, of course, reports were they found heroin in his system and all this, so I don't know what that's like. But, bro, putting a shotgun right here, God, bro, I can't even imagine, man.
Nope. Unless, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to get. You have to be in that mind frame to understand why they would do such. I mean, without being in that mind frame, it's completely hard to understand.
Completely ununderstandable.
Right.
What else? What do you got, Jeff?
Indiana Jones 5.
Yeah,
is official. What's interesting is Harrison Ford is 74 right now. Obviously, they haven't started filming yet. So the movie's coming out in 2019. So I'm going to assume it's going to film next year or in 2018. So he'll be at least 75 years old filming this movie. I don't know how well that's going to play out for him because he was kind of slow moving in Star Wars. You know what I mean? You could tell his age is caught up with his physical abilities. And Indiana Jones is a lot more action character than Han Solo is. Han Solo, you know, is shooting the laser gun a lot, but Indiana Jones is running all over the place with the whip and blah, blah, blah. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I don't know.
Unless, Jeff, does it say anything about the plot line? Did it say anything about the plot?
Nothing. No co-stars, no other characters. All that was announced was Harrison is returning and Steven Spielberg is returning to direct.
Bro, you would have to assume there's going to be a young apprentice under his wing. You know what I'm saying, bro? You have to assume there has to be somebody else that's going to take on a bulk of the action, and he's just kind of going to be there as the novelty. You have to assume that, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had Mutt in the last movie, and Shia LaBeouf, or however you say his name. I never pronounce his name correctly. Who knows if he'll come back? I don't know. I know a lot of the fans didn't like his character. I know they didn't like the plot line of the last movie, but interesting. I mean, I love Indiana Jones, so I'm excited about it. But at the same time, I'm just a little cautious of how this is going to play out.
Well, of course, too, Jeff. I mean, obviously, like, they're going to have to use a stuntman for every single action sequence and let Harrison Ford just do the acting. But I gotta believe that age is going to come into play when they, with the storyline of this movie. It has to, bro. I mean, it has to,
Right.
So, bro, I want to bring up something again, and I feel like bad about that, and I'm also pissed off about this, bro. Bro, we do Beauty and the Beast, and what episode was scheduled for yesterday?
You're gonna bury our own team members here.
What episode was scheduled for yesterday?
4.
Episode 4. So, bro, we have 3 episodes under our belt.
Right.
So the thing is scheduled for the same time every week: 2:00 Eastern, 1:00 Central, 12:00 my time. Okay. So, bro, I set up the show, this, that, and the other thing. Boom, bro. The minute I send Scott Casey, Gale, Will Farrell, Shane McMahon the invite, 30 seconds, boom, his picture pops up. Bro, yesterday, Scott Casey, Gale, full St. Patrick's Day regalia. Full. Green head to toe, green hair, a green hat, a green T-shirt, head to toe. And, bro, he's so freaking excited he's dressed in green. So excited. Because he knows he's going to pop me, right? So my first obvious question is, oh, Scott, so, what side of your family is Irish? Nobody. So nobody's Irish. He's not Irish. He just did this for St. Patty's Day. And he's all excited, bro, telling me where he got the stuff and this, that, and the other thing. Okay, bro. So now it's 12:00 my time. Okay. All right. He's asking me what we're going to talk about. He's always trying to get out of me what we're going to talk about, and I never tell him. And I had something really great set up for the show. Really great setup for the show. Okay, bro, 12 o'clock, 12:05, 12:10, no Sarah Russo. So I have several ways I could get to Sarah. I could DM her, I could text her, or I could call her. I try all three. 12:15, 12:20, no Sarah. Finally, I said to Scott, Scott, I'm giving this thing 5 more minutes. That's it, you know? So finally, bro, she text messages me that, oh, I'm working today. I forgot all about the show. And I'm like, Sarah, this is your show. Like, we've done it the same exact time on the same exact day for the last 3 weeks. If you're working, you had to know at some point you were working, you know? So, bro, like, I went on and I interviewed Scott Casey Gale anyway because he was wearing all that stuff. And I taped it, but I'm like, I don't just want to put up just me interviewing Scott Casey Gale again because I'm afraid that it'll be a little boring and I don't want to do that. So I'm probably not going to post it, right? So this morning, bro, while I'm, getting reprimanded at the rec center, I come home and there's a text from Sarah Russo wanting to know if we were going to do the show today. And I'm like, Sarah, with all due respect, like, don't think for 1 second Vince Russo is going to start working around your schedule. Okay? It's your show. We film the show 2 o'clock on Thursdays. I am not going to reset it today and schedule everything we were going to do yesterday. So, and I basically said, Sarah, please don't begin to think that you can just no show and like I'm going to work around your schedule. So
especially you already work around Scott's schedule because he's the big star. You can only do one at a time.
Exactly. So the point is there is no Beauty and the Beast show this week. And it's not that I wasn't prepared. It's not that Scott wasn't prepared. And what I'm going to try to do, bro, is we hopefully she knows whether she's working or not next week. And I'm just going to make Scott wear the St. Patrick's Day stuff again. So because everybody's got to see it. It was too good to miss, but I don't want to just play the interview.
What if he's one of those guys that saves his receipts and when he's done with costumes, he brings it back to the store?
I think Scott loved the stuff too much that he's bringing it back. And by the way, bro, he went on and on and on in my little interview with him again about the first episode of The Americans.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. He
was all excited. He was all hopped up about that. He was telling me about.
Yeah, see, what I was doing was I was rewatching the last season to refresh before the new one starts. I still got 4 episodes left of last season to rewatch before I watch the new one.
Yeah.
So, because the way my mind works, you know what I mean? Like, I forget it all by the time the next season rolls around. So I have to rewatch and refresh myself. So
I'm the same way.
Yep.
All right, what do you got, Jeff?
This was kind of an interesting thing to think about, especially because we're always talking about the wrestling ratings and people watching online, and we have different theories on that, and other people have different theories. But do you remember the show Hannibal that was recently on NBC?
Yep.
It was on Friday nights.
Yeah, I remember.
It was a very the critics loved it. I guess it was a critical hit, had a real cult fan base, but it wasn't a good rating show. Okay, so it ended up getting canceled after a few seasons. Yahoo did an interview with one of the producers, and her name was Martha De Laurentiis. And she thinks that online pirates are the reason her show got canceled. But, the show she worked on, I don't think she was the showrunner. But she said, when nearly 1/3 of your audience for Hannibal is coming from pirated sites, you don't have to know calculus to do the math. If a show is stolen, it makes it difficult, if not impossible, to fairly compensate a crew and keep a series in production. And Yahoo said that Hannibal was reportedly the 5th most illegally downloaded show of 2013, with numbers reaching into the millions.
Wait a minute, Jeff. This show was on what?
NBC. That was my question.
Yeah, I don't understand
why.
That.
And maybe somebody can help me out here. Why do you have to steal a free show? Even if you don't have cable, all you do is put on rabbit ears. You can watch Hannibal, right? That stuff still works, or did they get rid of that?
Not really, bro.
No?
Bro,
okay.
my son does not have cable, but he's not pirating shows because he doesn't have a computer either. But
so all the analog stuff killed now. You have to have a digital box to get any station, even the local ones.
Well, no, bro, but it'll be crap. But my point is, if my son had internet and my son had a computer, he'd be doing that.
But here's the other thing, and I know.
But why?
I don't know if specifically this show, but NBC.com has free episodes of their shows on there, like on demand.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
So I didn't understand the reason why people would be pirating that show. I understand why people steal Game of Thrones because they don't want to pay for HBO.
But bro, are there any real numbers, or is she just assuming that?
She said nearly a third of your audience.
Right.
So I'm assuming somebody gave her some type of fact. Yahoo is saying it's reportedly the 5th most illegally downloaded show. So they must have got those numbers from somewhere.
Did they say what the first couple were?
No, not in the article I read. They may have extended it.
I'd love to hear that.
But you wonder. I don't know. I know a lot of people steal Game of Thrones and a lot of the shows on HBO and Showtime and all the shows like that.
Bro, that really sucks if at the end of the day that's costing people work. That really sucks. I mean, because bro, you hear it all the time, FBI warning, blah, 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 and you don't think anything of it. But if it's legitimately costing the actors and the producers and the directors and the stagehands and all those people their jobs, that sucks, bro.
Especially if these numbers are correct and it says into the millions, that means minimum 2 million. You're pluralizing millions. But you add 2 million more viewers onto that show's weekly viewing, I guarantee it'd still be on the air.
Yeah.
That's what's in there, so she could be right in this instance. And I guess that's the way the new world works. I don't know. I just thought it was strange that a show on NBC was getting pirated.
I'm just surprised that Yahoo would say it was the number 5 show and not give the numbers. I would love.
They may have. Because I didn't read this on Yahoo. I read this on IGN, and they quoted Yahoo. Maybe
you can look for that during the week.
Yeah, if I'm not lazy, I'll look it up.
If you're not double L.
Right. And then I had one more thing, and I don't know. This kind of rubbed me the wrong way, maybe because I'm reading it and I didn't hear the interview.
Okay, it's an interview because when you were setting it up that way, I'm saying to myself, okay, is Jeff going to say the same exact thing I'm about to say? But it wasn't. It wasn't an interview.
Yeah, no. So most likely not. No, this was Sally Field was on the Howard Stern.
Yeah,
show.
I listened to that, bro. I got
you listened?
Yeah, I heard a good chunk of it. Yes.
Okay, so maybe you can translate the demeanor in which she was talking for this quote. They were asking her about the Amazing Spider-Man films where she played Aunt May.
Right.
And according to this, Stern asked her if she liked the films, and she said, not especially. It's not my kind of movie. But my friend Laura Ziskin was the producer, and we knew it would be her last film, and she was my producing partner, and she was a spectacular human. Field added that she didn't put a great deal of effort into her portrayal of Aunt May. It's really hard to find a 3-dimensional character in it, and you work it as much as you can, but you can't put 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
Yeah, bro, whose favorite line that was?
Huh?
Bischoff. He always used to say that and piss me and Ed off to no extent, because when we wanted to do a lot of stuff, you guys are trying to put, 10 pounds of shit in a 5. That used to drive us off and piss us off and drive us crazy. Well, why is that rubbing you the wrong way?
Not that she didn't like the movies, but if you're going to accept a role and be paid for a job, and then you're going to come out and say that she didn't put a great deal of effort into it, that rubs me the wrong way. She shouldn't have taken the part. She took that part and didn't give a full effort into being the character.
Yeah, but what she's saying in the interview was the director of the film was that woman?
Producer.
Okay, the producer. Bro, maybe, and that was going to be her last movie. So
that's like, but that's a double whammy to me.
But it's not.
Now she didn't give a full effort on her friend's movie.
But bro, there's the other side of the coin. Maybe the producer really, really, really wanted her to do it, and she didn't want to do it in the first place.
Well, I just have a problem with people accepting a job and then half-assing it.
Bro, I don't take it that way. And you know why, Jeff? Because I heard the full interview. I heard the full interview. And bro, here's what was pissing me off about the interview. This is why I think with this, the woman really wanted her to do it. When she saw the script, she probably wasn't into it from the get-go, but it was going to be her friend's last movie. You know what I'm saying? And here's why I say this. I listened to a good part of that interview the other day, bro, and Howard was practically standing on his head trying to get Sally Field to bury people, like all the people she's worked with over the years and the movies, trying to get her to talk about her relationship with Burt Reynolds, affairs she might have had, this, that. Bro, she did not bury anybody. Nobody. He could not get anything out of her. So after listening to that, I listened to what you just said, and it just sounds to me like she really didn't want to do it in the first place, but it was her friend's last movie, and her friend really wanted her to do it. So she did it and just couldn't get into it. That's how I take it.
I don't know. Like, I'm looking at this. Okay, she's getting paid to do this job. She says, I didn't put a great deal of effort into it. To me, that's an insult to the other actors that she's working with, that she's not giving them their full effort into this role. The people that are paying her to give her full effort for this movie, and the people that are paying to go see the movie. You know what I mean? To me, that's just insulting.
But, bro, maybe it didn't take a great deal of effort. I don't know. I wish he would have asked her to clarify it.
Yeah.
I got something that's going to get you more pissed off than that.
All right.
And I can't. This is the stuff that pisses me. This is the stuff where I just want to say, you know what? You can all just kiss my ass, every single one of you, okay? Because this is the stuff this is why, Jeff, you and I are not the fans of the wrestling business that we once were. Is that fair to say that we once were? I didn't say we're not fans of wrestling. I said we definitely are not fans as we once were. Okay. Right. Jeff, there was a time, the Attitude Era was so successful. When I went to WCW, when I went to TNA, I wanted to go to the next level. Okay? I didn't want to repeat the Attitude Era. I wanted to keep evolving it and go to the next level. Keep in mind, bro, this is 20 years ago. Okay? In my opinion, that next level was you had to, in your storylines, you had to start talking about and teaching and showing the business of the business. You had to show this is a wrestling business, how it really worked behind the stage, the relationship with the network, some guys getting paid more money than other guys. You had, the next evolvement was, let's see the business of the business. But of course, bro, it's all a work. You're still working it, but now you're bringing more reality into it. Okay, bro? And I remember like there was a scene or there was something where we got into an area like where Goldberg wouldn't do the job.
I think was it Sid Vicious?
Maybe. I don't know.
I know I swear it was something like he wouldn't take a power bomb or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do we play this into the business without just exposing everything, but showing people a new side of it that they're like, holy crap. You know what I mean? To me, that was the natural evolution beyond the Attitude Era. So, bro, I'll never forget the people right away. I'm exposing the business. I'm killing the business. And here's the example they used. Oh, well, Vince, when we go see Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise in the middle of the movie doesn't say, "Wait, I'm Tom Cruise. My real name is Tom Cruise. I'm not really this character." That's what they tried to use. And I'm like, well, first of all, like Bill Goldberg is Bill Goldberg. He's not playing Johnny Wad. Bill Goldberg is Bill Goldberg. So if you're going to do something like that with Bill Goldberg, that's Bill Goldberg. And that's how Bill Goldberg really feels. And it's a part of the story. There's a way to do it, bro, if people let you do it. The problem is so many people are afraid to do it. So many people don't know how to do it that they start picking away at it. So me wind up saying, F it, screw it, do the same old shitty wrestling. Period. Okay. So that was all the flack and all the feedback I got 20 years ago. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is why everybody could kiss my freaking backside in Macy's window. NXT, which I am not a fan of and I do not watch. If you don't like that I'm not a fan, I'm freaking sorry. I'm not going to be a fan so you become a Vince Russo fan. I've watched the show. I don't like the show. I like Enzo and Big Kaz. That's it. I don't like nothing else on the show. That's all I like. So that doesn't warrant an hour of my time. Okay? And if you hate me because I don't like NXT, hate me away. But I know NXT enough to know this, Jeff. Finn Balor and Samoa Joe were buddies. Okay? In the storyline, they're friends, they're tag team partners, the whole 9 yards. Okay. Somewhere along the line, Samoa Joe turns on Finn Balor. Now he's cutting the promos. Now they're bitter enemies, the whole 9 yards. Okay? I saw the headline because I'm not going to read this crap because I don't care enough to read it. Okay? I read this headline now that at the last NXT crowd, Finn Balor leads the audience in a singing of happy birthday to Samoa Joe. Okay, they were friends, then they came bitter enemies, and now in 2016, it's totally acceptable now for Finn Balor to start the people singing happy birthday to Samoa Joe, his bitter enemy. But we couldn't expose as a shoot. Goldberg didn't want to do job. Bro, everything I wanted to do, when we were going to tell more about the business, if you were a heel, you were a heel. If you were a baby face, you were a baby face. Vince Russo was not going to go out there and say, hey, everybody, it's Bill Goldberg's birthday. Let's sing happy birthday to Bill Goldberg. No, that wasn't the plan. Vince Russo was still going to be in character. But now it's acceptable for these guys to have an angle and then sing happy birthday together. That's and bro, people are going to argue with us that the business today, bro, could you imagine? I'm going to give you something in your time zone, your time period, because I immediately thought of, can you imagine George the Animal Steel going out there and leading everybody in a happy birthday song to Bruno Sammartino? But I'll speed it up a couple of years, bro. Bro, can you imagine Piper doing that on Hogan's birthday during the rock and wrestling connection? Can you imagine Piper? Okay, wait, hold on a minute, everybody. The cameras aren't on. The cameras aren't on, everybody. It's Hulk Hogan. Can you effing imagine, bro? Can you imagine? But today, that's totally acceptable, bro. And they put it over. They put it over, bro. And then they're going to sit there and tell me that they're not killing the wrestling business?
That same thing I thought at that NXT Brooklyn show with Sasha and Bayley. They have the match. Sasha's a total heel in the match. She's trying to injure her, with dirty tactics. They have this entire feud. And then after the match, they're hugging and hands up and the crowd's applauding and they're all crying. And I'm like, you just killed the entire thing. And everybody's putting it over. Triple H almost got fired for that 20 years ago. You know what I mean?
There, bro. I was there, bro.
And that was a house show.
Bro, I was the only freaking one, trying to protect the guy. They wanted him out the next day, bro. Bro, that happened on a weekend. And that Monday, I wrote TV with Cornette and Pritchard. They wanted him gone. And I was like, guys, like, relax. You know what I mean? Like, I was the only one. But bro, you know what it is? Here's what it is. Because Finn Balor and Samoa Joe are exposing the business, all those Nimrods at the Full Sail Arena, this is how they look at it now. Oh, these guys are treating us as their equals. We understand the business just like Finn Balor and Samoa Joe. We're equals with that, bro. That's what's killing the business. That's exactly what's killing the business. That's why casual fans, bro, they see that, they crap on it because they say, this ain't wrestling. This ain't the
wrestling. It drives
wrestling.
me nuts on Twitter. They do it. The wrestlers do it on Twitter too. A fan will tweet them like they know what they're talking about. They'll tweet somebody that lost a match. Hey, you had a great match with so-and-so, really, well, and they'll retweet that. You lost. Don't let these people think that they're your equal and they understand what you're saying. And then what that does is that makes them think they're experts. And that's where all this stuff comes from. Hey, you took a nice bump the other day, and they retweet that. Ignore that. The best response I saw ever, and I know I put her over yesterday, but I like Deonna Purrazzo because she's so old school. She's trained old school. She wrestles old school. She acts old school. She gets the business. Somebody tweeted her after she lost to Asuka on NXT. Hey, looked like you had a fun match with Asuka. Okay? Like, what a stupid comment to tweet. So she responds, yeah, getting kicked in my face is real fun, and put like a weird face. I'm like, that's how they need to respond to these people.
Bro, see, that's what it comes down to, Jeff. A lot of the boys in the industry that don't like me, bro, I could tell you right now, 95% of them are marks for themselves. They feed into all that, and they think they're so much bigger than what they really are. So when I look at them and I'm like, bro, with all due respect, I don't care what your Twitter followers say. Speaking as the voice of the casual audience that no longer watches anymore, you're a mid-carder at best. You're a mid-carder at best. That's where they hate me, and that's where they dislike me because, like you said, bro, all these experts, the hundreds of thousands of Twitter followers that they bought. Oh, bro, your match was great. Oh, this was great. Oh, that. And they start believing that crap. Bro, then they go to the Full Sail, and a couple of hundred people are chanting, this is awesome. We're not worthy. And they buy into that crap, bro. And then they have heat with me because they can't understand. What, we're not getting a world title shot? The fans love us. Friends, go look at my Twitter page. That's the problem, bro.
When did they become marks for the marks? Like, that's I just can't believe. Like, it just blows my mind.
Jeff, did you know yesterday, bro? Like, I was trying to look for something on TV prior to Shades of Blue, and SmackDown was on. So I'm like, okay, listen. People have been saying SmackDown has gotten better, but more than that, everybody says I hate everything about WWE. I think that announcer is phenomenal. Morrow, what's his name?
Yeah, Ronaldo. Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let SmackDown. SmackDown came on my TV listings. Let me put on SmackDown. Jeff, I swear to you, I turn on SmackDown. New Day against the Legion of
League of Nations.
League of Nations. Jeff, I swear to God. I put the TV on, literally a 3 to 5 minute span. Okay. Unbelievable move, kick out. Unbelievable move, kick out. Unbelievable move, kick out. Unbelievable move, kick out. Guess how the match ends and what the final pin is?
A roll up.
A roll up. That's it, Jeff. I was like, okay, you just had your 3 minutes. Okay. Like, these guys are kicking out of stuff that would kill the person at home. Kicking out, and you end the match in a roll-up. That was it. I was like, you know what? I'll find something else, even if I don't want to watch it, because I ain't watching this. I'm not watching this. God, bro. Unbelievable, man. But yeah, we're going to sing Happy Birthday now. What does Vince McMahon think about that, man? What is Hunter? Hunter thinks that's okay?
I guess he himself went on TV a day after getting the crap kicked out of him by Roman Reigns like it never even happened because he wasn't Triple H the character. He was Triple H the boss. But you can't have TV like that.
Yes, they can, bro. And more and more people can stop watching it. Yes, they can. Yeah. Yes, they can, bro. God, I sure hope next week, man, it's not freaking Taker's birthday because Shane McMahon may lead the entire crowd into Happy Birthday Taker, Oh God, bro. It's unbelievable.
Yep. That's all I had.
All right. Any big plans this weekend, Jeff?
Try to catch up on TV, my normal weekend routine. Don't know if that's gonna happen.
All right.
And
Jeff, we got a lot of stuff coming down the pike.
We do
a lot of stuff. Me and Jeff have been tight-lipped on a lot of stuff, and not just one thing. We've been tight-lipped on a lot of stuff. I think the brand will be ecstatic over. I think it will be great for the brand. Me and Jeff have, kept quiet. We're getting ducks in a row. It's going to be a couple of things that I think everybody's going to be really excited about. So, Jeff, I think next week will be a really, really, really big week for everybody in the brand.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Jeff, give everybody your the book, the Jeff Lane 22, the website, the whole shebang.
Follow me on Twitter. I can't get my Google Hangouts graphic gimmick to work, so I can't put that stuff up there. But follow me on Twitter, please, at Jeff Lane 22. You can check out my website, thejefflane.com, and I do have my book for sale on there, Why It Sucks to Work at a Restaurant. If you order from my website, I'll sign it for you, send it to you. If you prefer Kindle, there's also a Kindle version you can get for $2.99. It's an easy, quick read. But
now,
I think
Jeff, let me ask you something. Okay, so you physically have the books.
Yeah, I have some of them. You can also get them on Barnes & Noble. You can get them on Amazon.
So it's safe to say, and we haven't really talked about this at all because we've been focused on the other things that we can't talk about, but at WrestleCon, Jeff Lane will have these books available and he'll be signing these books.
Well, I didn't plan on it, honestly, because I didn't think I'd be allowed to. I'm not booked talent. I don't know how all that works. They didn't book me to show up and sell my stuff.
I booked you. Me, okay. I booked you.
Well, because a brand member asked me if I'd be selling them, and I told him no.
Of course you will be, bro. Yes, Jeff Lane will be selling and autographing his book at WrestleCon.
Okay. I didn't want to step on anybody's toes that booked you. You know what I mean? I don't know how the commission works and all that crap, and you know what I mean? I wasn't booked, so I just figured it would not be proper for me to do that. I didn't understand that. So
what?
I'm sitting at this table that people are paying you to go, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go sell my gimmicks there. I wouldn't think that would be a proper business tactic. If they don't care, I don't care. I'll do it then.
Yeah,
do it. I just assumed I wouldn't be allowed to do that. So.
1,000% no problem.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we probably freaking should have ordered some shirts from Pro Wrestling Tee. I've got some, but I don't have the brand shirts. I wish we would have had some of the brand shirts.
That's the best looking one, I think.
Yeah, I don't even own one of those, bro.
Right. Yeah.
I've never even gotten one of those.
Is it like being in a band? You're not supposed to wear your own shirt. You know what I mean? Is that the same thing? Guess,
bro. Because I've never worn my own shirt.
All right.
Well, everybody, there you have it. But I'm telling you, I'm not Dixie Carter. When I tell you we got big news, we got big news. Next week, a lot of things happening. I'm telling you. Whether you're a brand member, whether you're tuning in for free right now, keep your eye on us next week. A lot of big things coming down the pike. And this is all, listen, we've heard numbnuts and Nimrod say the landscape has just changed. Okay? I will tell you this. The landscape's going to change. This isn't some mark telling you the landscape is going to change because we're going on a TV station nobody ever heard of. This is legitimate game-changing landscaping stuff. So it's going to happen next week. Stay tuned for the brand. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week. This comes from why I have heat with JBL to this day. Okay, I was in the back. It was me and somebody else, and I don't remember who it was. And JB started carrying on that he could take anybody in the company or in the locker room in a real bar fight. Okay, now first of all, I was not a big fan of JBL personally. I thought he was a big bully. I thought he was a loudmouth. So all I had to do was sit back and hear him say how he could take anybody in a bar fight. Now keep in mind, while he's saying this, I know some of the guys in the locker room. And while he's saying this, I say to myself, you know what? I'd love to see that.
you know. So sure enough, the next TV session with Vince, I pitched it. I said, Vince, I said, listen, I pitched the whole idea of the Brawl for All, you know, let's do this. Guys were bonused if they did it. They got more money. That was the enticement to do it. It was so funny because like the first rounds, you know, being in the arena, people thought it was a work. People were like, what? Why are they dimming the lights? Why are they doing this? They thought it was an absolute work. By the time Bart Simpson started rolling guys' eyes in the back of their head, Bart Gunn, yeah. People knew it was not a work anymore. And you know, to see Bart drop JBL, I'm not going to say that was a sad day. I thought it was a great day. This is what I'll never forget, though, man. I swear this. I'll never forget this. The Godfather. Yeah. This is a guy that's the real deal. This guy will kill you. I mean, he's the real deal. I'll never forget. I mean, literally, anybody can go back and look. Bart hit him so hard, his eyes rolled to the back. I never in my life saw anybody get hit that hard. Nobody in the world expected any of that from Bart Gunn. Nobody. He wasn't even on anybody's radar.
Right. Is there a faction of wrestlers that are not participating in this that think this is taking up time on the show?
Not really, because no, they want to see these.
They want marks
for
it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And another big controversy too, huge controversy was Mero, because you know Mero wasn't a guy that was liked in the locker room because of Sable, and you know he was a Gold Gloves legitimate boxer. Mero was, you know. And he felt that he beat JBL beforehand, and he felt that he got totally screwed out of the victory, you know, because nobody liked him. Right. And he was hot. I mean, he was legitimately hot.